Hello, good morning. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now with me, Vinny Motiwala, along with me, Somit Sarkar as well. Somit, very good morning to you as well.
Good morning.
But markets, not a good morning, right?
Well, it's only because of HDFC Bank that we are seeing
Heavyweight,
such
right?
kind of, and obviously there could be some correction after 5-6 days of
gains as well.
That's what we are seeing.
Absolutely, so that is what the market is looking like. Nothing exciting because obviously HDFC Bank has been sluggish. It's quite a heavyweight, almost 13-14% weightage it has on the Nifty as well, and that is why as of now when you're looking at the Nifty, trading at 21,737 levels. It has been those levels since around the get-go that we've seen. After a bit of a spike up, then we saw the sharp fall, and after that it has remained at those levels as well. So yes, that's how the Nifty is looking at. Sensex also two similar trends, nothing exciting on that front as well. Sensex 2 is down almost a percent in trade as of now as well. Let's look at what we're seeing in terms of the indexes which are seeing the sharp fall. Obviously Nifty Bank is down and out, and when we look at the banking space, HDFC Bank, Kotak Mahindra, those are the top losers, and trade Nifty Bank is down 3%, more than 3% today. Realty, that's too is under pressure today as well as metals, Nifty Metals, that's down and out. While in terms of what's holding on to the positive side today, we have Nifty IT that's holding on to some bit of a green there, led by TCS, HCL Tech, holding on to gains over there. While in terms of what's the loser is, what's another gainer is Nifty Media as well. So yes, gains that are seen coming in on that front. A lot of individual movers are there in trade on the back of their numbers, whether you see an ICICI Lombard, Goa Carbon, that's too holding on to strong gains, L&T Technology Services, keeping an eye on that. Polycap today is seeing a bit of a gain as well. In the last, after seeing that fall that we saw coming in last week, this week seems like a bit of a gain we're seeing coming in. They will be reporting the numbers as well. Cochin Shipyard too seeing very, very strong gains after reports are suggesting that the management actually highlighted in terms of a new ship repair facility that will actually transform Kochi into a global maritime hub. So yes, these are some of these individual movers today. But Somit, the stock that has been in focus today and on everyone's mind since the get-go is HDFC Bank.
Well, yes, the stock was down around 7% which is most likely its biggest fall that we have seen at least since May of 2023 or even beyond that. And the only reason behind that is the drop that we have seen in the LCR ratio of HDFC Bank from 121 to 110%, because the results were pretty much in line with what the street was expecting. Now Gaurav is joining us to give us more details on the same. Gaurav, what was the actual pain point for HDFC Bank?
Yeah, so first if we talk about the operational data was quite strong. It was up 4% if we talk about NI and pre-provisional operating profits, and PAT was also up almost by 2.5% in this quarter. But when we talk about the other data from the bank, what is happening right now is that the deposits are under pressure. So we have already seen that the deposit growth was almost at 1.9% on a quarter-on-quarter basis, while advances grew almost by 5%. So this is putting some kind of pressure in the liquidity for the bank. If we talk about the loan to deposit ratio, now it stands at 110% versus what it was at 85 to 87% earlier. Even if we exclude the impact of the merger, the LDR ratio stands at 89% according to the bank. And this everything will, and if you also talk about the CASA ratio is also down at 37.7%, and all this has caused the NIMs to come up to 3.6%. Now let's note that NIMs have been at 3.6% last quarter as well, but these are at the lowest level in the last few quarters. And going ahead, bank also believes that the deposit growth rate has to outpace the growth in the loan book to come up to support the NIMs going ahead. They also believe that the CASA ratio needs to improve almost to 40%, and because this will somewhere support the bring down in the borrowings in its total liabilities side, and all this will support NIMs going ahead. But what brokerages are believing is that this process is a long haul process and this will take some time. It won't happen in this quarter or the next quarter, and that is why we are seeing this kind of negative impact coming up on the bank's target share price today. But all in all, if we talk about the brokerages, they have not changed their view. They have not even changed the target price. So if you have to highlight a few, first we have is Axis Bank, where they have maintained the buy rating with the target price of 2,030 rupees. We also have Morgan Stanley, who has maintained its overweight rating with 2,110 rupees. And on the lower end, we have Nomura, who has cut the target price to 1,625 rupees while maintaining its neutral rating. So all in all, it seems that brokerages are still being cautious with the bank's growth outlook, and that is what is driving the stock down, at least in today's trade.
Okay, Gaurav, thank you so much for that update. That's why, we're seeing a bit of a pressure coming in on HDFC Bank. And that is why we will be discussing today with our experts as well in terms of what should we be doing with HDFC Bank. Now, do you see value and is it attractive to buy it? We'll be joined by our experts today. We do have Saurabh Jain as well as Hemant Kapadia joining in with us as well. But, before that, let's go across. Saurabh and Hemant do wait on with us because listening to what Nikunj Dalmia, the chief editor at ET Now, had to say in terms of HDFC Bank and what's his view on that.
There is nothing wow about the numbers. There is nothing exciting about the numbers. If at all, cracks are now opening up in terms of what the HDFC Bank positioning and what the delivery has been. I think for the first time after many quarters, you've actually seen the first year-on-year EPS decline in a decade. And there is definitely a pressure which is building up because of what is happening in the entire liability side, which is the cost of deposit, and growth seems to be getting challenged for HDFC Bank. Now, it is a stock which is unlikely to see any re-rating in the near term. It's a stock where positioning is just one-sided, which is everybody is just hoping and hoping and hoping that HDFC Bank will actually catch up because of months of underperformance. Now that's the positioning. So the stock post these numbers is unlikely to move higher like what IT stocks did. The general mood point at the beginning of the week was that buy stocks ahead of the numbers. The kind of move what we've seen in IT, we are likely to see that in bank. But looking at HDFC Bank numbers, I don't think we are in for a bout of short covering. If at all, I think HDFC Bank, which has been a ranked underperformer, that positioning of HDFC Bank is unlikely to change. So if you're holding on to HDFC Bank, I guess you should not sell. If you get a bad day, if the stock falls for 5%, you should add more. But to assume that there is going to be instant gratification and you will make very smart gains by buying HDFC Bank in next 2 or 3 months, I think that really may not be the scenario. And if at all HDFC Bank now post these numbers, it's unlikely to be that outlier or the outperformer. So I think the wait and watch mode continues for HDFC Bank. Frankly, these numbers do not warrant that kind of an excitement. I mean, they are just not impressive at all. A franchise like HDFC Bank, when the economy is so strong, everybody has come out and cut their EPS growth targets and also the growth targets.
Okay, and now let's go across to our experts who are going to tell us what should we be doing with HDFC Bank now. Hemant as well as Saurabh, very good morning and thank you so much for joining in with us as always. And, Hemant, I've just seen the price, and HDFC Bank is something that has not done anything exciting in terms of a stock move. Now, obviously, in terms of, numbers, we're seeing that impact coming in because of the coverage ratio that's there. But is it attractive now to look at HDFC Bank from the private banking sector? Do you see more value now compared to other private banks here now?
A very good morning to you, Winnie. Thank you for having me on the show. It's always a pleasure. If you go back, if I can digress just a wee bit, Winnie, if you go back in time, if you look at the last 20 years, normally it's HDFC Bank and Kotak which have led the bank nifty and the entire banking pack and the private bank pack. PSUs were dead for almost 18 years, but it's always been HDFC, Kotak, Kotak, HDFC. If you see the history over the last, I think post-COVID, maybe 2021, there has been tremendous underperformance, abysmal. So frankly speaking, that hasn't changed. Why I went back in time is because I think there's a new order emerging. These guys were leaders for 20, 25 years and now they're taking a breather. So as of now, it remains in a range. The range is between 1270, I know it's a big range, 1278 on the downside, 725, 1725 on the upside. And believe me, this range has been going on for the last 3.5 years. While the bank nifty has gone in the stratosphere, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, many stocks have done phenomenally well. This bank has gone nowhere. So frankly speaking, nothing changes in terms of levels. 1560, 1512 supports, resistance 1590, 1645. This huge downward gap does not augur well. This will provide resistance. Until it isn't covered up, I think parity won't be restored. So I'd say Currently, nothing much to go for it. It would need some time. Maybe it's a knee-jerk reaction, but these levels need to play out. If 1560 breaks, which I don't think it will in the near term, if it does, then we are in our spot of bother again.
Saurabh, how are you looking at HDFC Bank? Do you expect the earnings to bottom out and they could rise going forward now?
Hi, good morning. Thanks, thanks to you for having me on the show. See, what I feel is in the last 3 years, if you look at the HDFC Bank, it has clearly underperformed both the Bank Nifty and the Nifty. And the stock is up by close to 7%, whereas Bank Nifty is up by approximately 25-30% in the last 3 years. I think probably the consolidation, the underperformance will probably continue for some more time, and probably 2, 3, 4 quarters. And I think probably the stock will oscillate broadly in a range of 300, 400 rupees. See what markets are expecting, what markets are, wants HDFC Bank to deliver. I think it will take some time. It will take some time for the bank to shed out the higher cost of borrowings because of the merger with the HDFC Limited. And I think as the time will progress, as the numbers will improve, gradually the performance will occur on the purchase. So I expect, I think nothing to cheer about the numbers, but broadly the numbers are in line with the market expectation. And I think the stock will continue to underperform.
Well, thank you, Saurabh. Thank you, Himin, for giving your view on HDFC Bank. With that, let's slip into a short break, and post that we'll address all the investor queries on Buy Now, Sell Now. So stay tuned to each now.
Welcome back, and you're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. It's time we start taking all your stock-related queries, viewers, and we do have our experts with us today, Heman Kapadia, as well as Saurabh Jain with us as well, who will be solving all your doubts as well. So let me get started with the first query that is there today, and do not forget you can send us your queries either on Twitter or the WhatsApp number that is flashing on the screen as well. Gentlemen, Heman, I'm actually going to start this query with you. It's from Vikas from Bangalore, and they want to know on Apollo Hospital's Jan expiry, above 6,100, is that a possibility?
I think so, yes, because the previous all-time high, Vinny, was 5935.40 in November 21, and we're on the verge of taking that out. So, and we sustain above 5950, which is a possibility. Okay, we have just 10 trading sessions, but yes, I think it sustains above 5950. I think what he said is happening. Daily, weekly, monthly, short term, medium term, long term, all time frame, the stock remains safely ensconced and up.
Query is coming in from Mr. Balaji, and it's for you, Saurabh. He has around 1,000 shares of Manali Petrochem bought at a price of 90 rupees per share. Should he continue to hold or sell this counter?
I think numbers doesn't appears to be good. I think the stock has seen a good amount of run up. It is better to exit the stock.
Saurabh, one more query your way, and this one is from Mohit from Ludhiana. They have 2,000 shares of Trident at a price of 3.90 rupees per share. For a time horizon of 2 more years, should they continue to hold this? What is your view?
I think the stock has seen a steep run up. I think that there is a euphoria with respect to the textile industry, and the Trident has. I mean, from his investment, I think he has clearly 10, 11 times he has made profit. So I think on the valuation front also the stock has become a bit expensive. I think it is better to take 60-70% of the table and remain invested with the stock.
Query is from Mr. Rajesh from Bangalore, and it's for you, Mr. Hemen. He has around 100 shares of VIP Industries bought at a price of around 655 in December, and he can hold these shares only till March 2024. So should he continue to hold or sell at this price?
I think it's going to be a touch and go situation, Somit. Firstly, I would suggest he keep a stop loss. It's not very far away. The stop loss comes in at 548. A close below 548, he needs to take a hit and exit the stock. Currently, it's oversold. Oversold doesn't mean anything. If it closes above 585, I think that'd be the first indication of a possible near-term turnaround. So keep the levels in mind. Currently, the setup doesn't look too good. The short and medium term picture, and sorry, even the longer term picture is not very conducive for an up move.
Saurabh, this next query is from Vineet from Goa, and with budget around the corner, they've named a couple of stocks and want to know if it's a good thing to buy these stocks considering the budget is there. NBCC, NCC, as well as IREDA.
I think the space is quite buzzing, but you have to keep in mind that this is not a full-fledged budget which will come in the month of February. It will be a vote on account, and the full-fledged budget will come in the month of July after my election. About the stocks, I think IREDA looks to me, I think it is quite expensive considering the fact that it has a very thinner balance sheet as compared to PFC, REC, and also it lends to the green energy projects which fetch lower margins. With respect to the NBCC and NCCC, I think both these stocks have seen a quiet run up. I think wait for dips in the market. Corrections are due and they will surely come, and then buy these stocks.
Queries from Saurabh Srinivasan from Chennai. He's holding 3,000 shares of HFCL bought at a price of around 75 rupees per share. Should he hold or book profit to him in?
I would, if he's a long-term investor, Sumit, it's a clear hold. The stock is going to go to 140, but this is a 2-year call, not a 2-month call. So if it's a shorter-term target, exit. Book profit. If it's a longer-term call, strong hold.
Ashish, one more query. This is from, Hemant, this is a query for you from Ashish, and he's from Jabalpur. He wants to know on Reliance Industries bought 200 shares at 2,700 rupees for a time period of around 2-3 months. What's the outlook on the same, for Reliance? Should they continue to hold this? Hemant, I believe you're on mute. We cannot hear you clearly.
Okay, hello.
Yeah. Now it's audible.
Yeah, the way I see it, it's a clear hold. Reliance had broken out of almost a 20-month consolidation. So, notwithstanding a small cool off in line with the market if it corrects, I believe we are heading towards 2850 and 3000. So, I'd say hold.
Next query is from Jaya from Bangalore. She has Finolex Cables and Infosys in her portfolio. Should she hold or exit? Saurabh, what is your view here on both the stocks?
I think IT sector looks good to me. I think the development will start going in 2024. AI, automation, large deals pouring in, execution will increase. So I expect IT sector will do well. So in that sense, I would recommend to hold Infosys. And the other stock was?
Finolex Cables.
Pardon?
Finolex Cables.
Finolex Cables also, I think it is a very good company. If you look at the numbers are coming quite good. And considering the fact that the economic activity, real estate activity, the way it is happening, I think the fortunes look good. So in both the stocks looks full to me.
Okay, on that note, we'll slip into a very short break, viewers. Don't go anywhere. We'll be taking more of your stock-related queries after the break.
Well, let's again come in with investor queries. Firstly, from Tara from Chennai. Now, she wants to invest in Aditya Birla Capital at current level. Saurabh, what would be your view on that? Should she invest?
Won't be able to give a recommendation on that because stock is not in the.
Okay, let's move on. And the next query, this is for you, Hemant. This one is from PV Rao. It's on IEX. They bought at 156 rupees for a 1-year time period. Is it good to continue to hold this?
Yes, Vinny, I think so. Above 170 things should look better. Support at 150. Long-term technical turnaround, oscillators buy. Yes, look like a good hold.
The next query is from Mr. Rajiv from Mumbai, and it's on Nelco and HOEC. He wants a technical view whether it's a right time for a fresh entry. Hemant, what would you suggest for Nelco and HOEC?
Nelco, I don't think it needs to rush because the correction doesn't seem to be over. Once again, impossible to get the tops and bottoms, but I would suggest he spread his purchases. We're at 809 as far as Nelco is concerned. I believe the levels to enter 790, 770, and 7 40. I think these are three support levels, I believe, which you can use to add for a medium term point of view. HOEC seems slightly corrective the way I see it. And once again, there's no need to rush, but yeah, the setup seems promising. Not fair to compare. We've been consolidating for almost, yeah, five months. He can buy at around 170, in a range between 170, 165, 155. The breakout comes to number 188, so he can once again spread his purchases over these levels.
Okay. Saurabh, this next query from the viewer is on KEC International. They hold 100 shares at 591 rupees. What's the view for this one on the long term?
I think they have very good order book. The point is the margins are quite thin. Otherwise, the company is putting up a good show. They have always been L1 bidder, and they are able to garner more orders from the industries. So in that sense, I think it makes sense to hold a stock.
Well, Saurabh, the next query is for you from Rashesh from Vadodara. He has around 200 shares of granules bought at a price of 287. He's asking for your view whether should he hold or sell this counter.
I think this is the company which did very well at the time of COVID, and after that we have seen that both the demand and the pricing pressures have prevailed. The stock hasn't done nothing much so far. I think in this space, a company that I like is in the biosimilar Syngene, and the other company I like which is in the APIs is Alembic Pharma.
Hemant, this next query is for Samantra Chatterjee. It's on Delta Corp. They hold 150 shares of Delta Corp at 300 rupees. They're holding it since 2022. So could you give them advice whether they should continue to hold this or maybe look to sell now?
I think it looks like a sell on bounce, Vinny. Nothing compelling looking at the technical parameters. The only thing good happening is I think it's going out of FNO. So the volatility will simmer down because half of the time it's in an FNO ban. But no, the charts don't inspire too much of confidence at this point in time. The supports are 140, 125, resistance 160, 170. So I believe it's a sell on bounce. Nothing yet looks convincing enough to warrant a hold or a buy.
Well, the next query is again for you, Saurabh, from Nitya from Chennai. She has around 5,000 shares of Exata Cotton bought at a price of 33 rupees. Should she hold or exit with the current loss that she's incurring?
Not in the way.
Okay.
Okay. There's one query which is from Permanent Magnet is the stock that they're talking about. M. Mathavanan is wanting to know that they're holding 20 shares of Permanent Magnet at a rate of around 1,200 rupees. Hey man, continue to hold this or average out or sell? What's the view on this one?
So hold. We've been seeing a 6-month correction. Nothing wrong. Stock moves from 270 to 1700. Is going to go into hibernation for 6 months, maybe even a year. Longer it takes, better. So once again, if the outlook is for a 12 to 18-month point of view hold, it seems as a correction in a bull market. The breakout comes to number 150. A close below 1250 would mean a deeper correction.
The next query is okay, he has not mentioned his name, but it's on Gale, and he wants to add more of Gale for short to medium term. What is the outlook on the stock? Saurabh, do you cover this one?
I think we don't expect anything positive on the earnings side. I think the stock will underperform for the next few quarters.
We have one more query for you. This one is from Peter, and they want to know if it's a good time to enter Kirloskar Electric at the current price for a long term.
I think the way the capital goods industry is doing and the Kirloskar is doing, I think it makes sense to go in for a long term.
This is from Mr. Anant Nayak from Bangalore. He wants to buy Nestle's 20 shares. Should he buy at current price? Saurabh, what's your view here?
FMCG pack, we like a company called Jyoti Laboratories. Otherwise, ITC can also be a good back apart from this.
Hemen, we have a viewer, Pradeep, who is got two shares. One is Vardhaman Textile, 30 shares at 339, as well as Gufic Bioscience at 236 rupees. What's the view on this one? Should they continue to hold this for the long term, or maybe it's something where they should book out profits now and shift their stock to something like a banking sector name?
No, I would suggest some more patience, and Vardhman Textile seems like a hold. Everything seems promising. We remain in a high top, higher bottom scenario. Even on the longer term charts, we remain safely ensconced in an up move. So I don't think there's much to worry about Vardhman Textile and the other stock. Could you please repeat?
Bioscience. Gufic
Okay.
Bio, yeah.
Okay, Gufic has had a brilliant run up, and I don't think the run up has ended. I believe further upside seems to be uh, on the anvil. We are at 336. We are heading towards 380 and 420. So looks good on all time frames. Time to time, there could be corrections coming in, but I believe we are headed for a further upside.
The next query is from Mr. Rajiv. He's a senior citizen and it's for you, Heyman, because it's from 6-month view that he wants to know whether should he add Kansai, Nerolac and Inox India from a 6 months view.
Okay, we'll start off with Kansai, Nerolac. If whether he wants to add, I suggest hold, and I'm not sure, but a close about 350 would mean technical green shoots, and we would be seeing further upside from Kansai, Nerolac, and sorry, Somit, the other stock again.
Just a minute, I'll just tell you on the other one. Oh, I missed out on this one. Sorry. Okay, let's go to a different query right now. And okay, so this is from Padmasi Virao from Bangalore, and he wants to know their near-term target when it comes to CSC. Heyman?
Near-term target for CAC. Firstly, we're at all-time highs, Somit, so no known resistance levels. Normally, round figures act as resistance level because people tend to book profit around round figures. Okay, so firstly, 136, 132 support, they break, it's going to slip to 126. Close above 142 means a continuation of the up move, and then the target would be 148 and 152.
Okay. Saurabh, this next query is for you, and this one is from Bisakha from Kolkata. They are a long-term investor. They want to know on a Godavari Power Ispat, they're holding it at a price of 291 rupees, as well as Tube Investments, they're holding it from a price of 2,664 rupees, I beg your pardon. So should they continue to hold both these stocks or maybe look to book out profits now here?
I think both the companies are very strong in their respective domain, and the numbers are likely to improve. I think there will be earning surprises in the 2024, so you can hold both the stocks.
Okay, the next query is from Anand from Goa, and from a long-term view, like for the next 4 to 5 years, should he buy Mahindra Holidays? Saurabh, do you track this counter?
See, Mahindra Holidays we do not track, but we feel that the hotel industry per se will do well. I think the stocks which will be like are Chalet and the Lenny.
Heyman, we have Ravi Chandran who's bought LIC Housing Finance Feb futures at 483 rupees. What's the view on this? What is the target that they should keep for this one?
We've run into a roadblock at 585 Vinny. That's the high posted in August 18. That's the high posted in July 19, and we come back at that level. The setup seems promising, but we need to take out and sustain above 585, which I think is a possibility. Does it involve a small period of consolidation? Maybe. But above 585, we are going towards 620. So setup is good, but like I said, a lot of historical resistance over here, which might prove to be an impediment in the near term. To the delivery, I'd say hold future. I'd say just follow the levels closely.
Heyman, there's one query on Inox India, the one that I actually missed earlier. So do you see adding that counter from a 6-month view?
Inox India. I don't have, frankly speaking, too much of data to take a call on that. Somit, it's a relatively new listing the way I see it. Whatever data I've seen to suggest there is negative bias. This would change firstly above 890 and 915.
The next one is from Srinath from Chennai, and from 2 to 3 months time horizon, he's asking whether should he buy Cochin Shipyard at current prices. Heyman, what would be your view here?
Well, it's on a roller coaster ride. I said ride it. Everything seems fine. So yeah, I think so.
Okay, on that note, we're going to slip into a very short break, viewers. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of his stock-related queries after the break. Welcome back, and you're watching Buy Now Sell Now on ET Now. Let's keep it going with all your stock related queries then. And this next query, Heyman, is for you, coming in from Dasaradi, and this one is on SJVN. They're holding 300 shares at a price of 98 rupees per share. So should they continue to hold SJVN for a period of 3 months or book profits now?
It's been a perpendicular rise, but nothing to suggest a reversal. So I would suggest to hold, but just for safety's sake, period 102, keep a protect profit of 88. Protect profit meaning if it breaks 88, exit and book profit.
The next query is from you, and it's from Mr. Balan. Now he has shares of TCS, Infosys, LTI, Mindtree, and he's making a profit of around 25% odd combined basis on all the three stocks. He's asking your view whether should he continue to hold this counters, book profit and sit on cash, or buy HDFC and IRCTC.
See, in my opinion, I think IT sector is looking very good to me for 2024. I think the sector will outperform. So I think the profits that he is generating approximately of 25% are expected to get double or maybe higher this year. So I would recommend to remain invested.
Last query, this is for you. First Source Limited is what the viewer is holding, 2,500 shares at 141. The viewer's name is Rakesh. So they want to know your perspective on this one. Should they continue to hold this for a time period of 1 to 2 years more, or maybe book out profits?
I think the company is doing good, but I am not comfortable with the valuation since if he has invested in at the lower price, so he can remain invested because the sector outlook looks good to me.
Next query is coming in from Rebecca from Kolkata, and she wants to know whether is it a good investment to buy BSE stock at these levels for long term. Saurabh, how are you seeing BSE?
I see it is quite expensive. I won't recommend to buy at these prices.
Heyman, this next one is a short-term query from Subramanian from Chennai, and they're holding Shriram. They want to know how is Shriram Properties looking for the near term? Should they look to add something or maybe book out of it? Actually, they're holding Shriram at 89 rupees. So what should they be doing with it? Hold or sell?
If it's a shorter term view, I'd say it looks heavy, overbought, set for a correction. But if you have a longer term view, I say it's a strong hold. We will go towards 150 and 180, but this is probably a 1 year, 12 to 15 month call.
Okay, on that note, let's get started with the rapid fire round and the queries in the rapid fire format. So this one is from Sayak from Bangalore. They're holding Eicher Motors 50 shares at 3,827 rupees for a time period of 12 to 8 months. So Heyman, what's the view on Eicher Motors? Should they continue to hold?
Hold, stop loss 36.50.
So the next query is from Abhishek from Bhopal. He has ITC shares bought at a price of 200. No urgency to sell. Should he continue to hold? What is your view here?
Remain invested.
We have Mega from UAE who's bought Bajaj Finserv at a price of 1,497. Should they continue to hold, sell or add him in?
Hold, stop loss 14.50.
Well, the next query is on IREDA and it's from Matthew from Kerala. Is it a good time to buy him in? How do you see this stock?
Limited data.
Saurabh, what would be your view here?
I won't recommend it.
Okay, this next query is from Gayatri and they are holding 500 shares of NMDC at a price of 195 rupees per share that they bought last month. So what should they be doing with this, Heyman? Should they continue to hold or maybe look to sell?
Continue to hold. They would be correct.
The next query is from Mr. Rajesh Kumar Singh, and after yesterday's fall that we had seen in Angel One, he's asking whether is it a good time to buy. Saurabh, how do you see this counter?
The management is quite optimistic, and they are saying that the capex they are doing will actually reap benefits in the subsequent quarters. So remain invested for a quarter or two.
B. Soumya is holding restaurants brand Asia Hemin at 112 rupees. Continue to hold or book out of profits now?
Continue to hold good above 130.
The next query is from Saurabh Srinivasan from Chennai. He's asking from 3 months point of view, Heyman, should he buy Castrol India and Manappuram Finance?
I would say extend the time frame to Castrol by 1 more year. Yes, Castrol.
Sort of one last quick one. We're almost done. This one is on Stylum Industries for the medium term. Should the viewer look to buy this?
Not in.
Okay. With that, we're absolutely out of time on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now, as well as the query segment. So thank you so much, Heyman, as well as Saurabh, for always joining in with us and helping our viewers. And with that, it's a goodbye from Somit, myself, as well as the team who put this show together.